Okay, good morning and welcome to Yeshiva YouTube. Iyun with Benzion. Today's daf is in Nedarim daf Iyun Ches. We have a very fundamental share today, talking about Benzion, about Din, relating to the beginning of Masechah Sanhedrin. Today's daf makes clear what we've talked about, referenced many times in Masechah Nedarim, that in order to be matir and neder, 3 dayanim is enough, but 3 hadyotos is enough. 3 laymen, 3 people off the street, even if they're Bali Tshuva, they're Jewish, maybe if they're not even knowledgeable as secular Jews, their mother is Jewish. They can sit down and be matir and neder. And the Gemara also says that if you have a yachid mumcha, we learn from Rosh Amatos, it says in the beginning of Parshas Nedarim, the head of a tribe, that if he's yachid mumcha, he's the yachid who's a professional. What does it mean he's a professional? We'll talk about it in a second. He can be matir the neder by himself. Now, it says Rosh Amatos. Rosh Amatos means the leaders of the tribes. The leader of the tribes is necessarily a Talmud Chacham. If you go to a shul, right, the most powerful person in the shul is not necessarily the rabbi. It's usually the president of the shul. He gives the most money, or he's elected by the people who give the most money. So he's the president of the shul. And the leaders of tribe, leaders of people, are not necessarily the most knowledgeable in Torah. So I'd like to venture that Yachid Momcha is someone who is a leader of a person. So what does it do with Nedarim? Because the reason you need 3 head yotos is only, I think, for a Pesach. You want to know that a Pesach, right? So a Pesach is really just like a neder betos. That's really what it is. You reveal that the time the person made the neder, he really didn't have knowledge of certain things. If he had knowledge of certain things, he wouldn't have made the neder. So 3 yotos, right, can sit together, and maybe you need 3 specifically, as opposed to we'll talk about criminal cases, where you maybe even 2, the Gemara says, is okay, but it's called a based in chatzah. Technically, b'diavad 2 is okay. Here you need 3 people, because when you're sitting with your friend, right, it's hard to get clarity in the matter. When you're sitting with 3 people, so you're convening, so you have 3 people. It's not just 2 people bouncing ideas off each other. It's 3 people, and that's considered. We learn from the concept of a basin. How does valvos? The Gemara says at the beginning of Masechah Sanhedrin, right? If someone lends someone money, right, and 2 people come, say he paid me the money. I didn't get paid the money. So you try to investigate and find out clarity in the matter. And for something like that, you don't need smuchim. You don't need rabbinical scholars for something like that. That's called a civil case. A civil case, according to the Torah, you don't need, and we adjudicate civil cases nowadays. Nowadays, if you want to go to a basin here in Israel, right, where mostly you're dealing with Jews, right, you could go to, an Israeli Supreme Court, an Israeli court, but most from people go to a basin, and a basin is usually by people who are knowledgeable in rabbinics. Could be a yachid mumcha, a person who's very knowledgeable, or it could be someone, 3 adyotos, 3 people, if they're knowledgeable enough in the halachas of Choshen Mishpat, right, who should be right, or just to find out the details of what's going on. So 3 adyotos are okay in civil cases, and that's why we adjudicate them today. However, when it comes to criminal cases, the Gemara says, we'll learn from the Torah, it says alokim 3 times. So you need 3 dayanim. They have smuchim, they have smicha, and we don't have smuchim anymore, because smuchim was a tradition passed down from Moshe Rabbeinu to the Zkanim, and the Zkanim, we lost that tradition of passing it down. So we don't adjudicate certain cases, criminal cases. We don't kill people anymore, right? There's no mises basin. There's no knossos anymore. You can't give knas to someone anymore. If someone does kefel or dalat vehei, right? There's a discussion of, gzelos v'chavalos or things like that. If someone stole from something, even the Karen, right? I mean, technically, maybe you could. I have to look in Masechah Sanhedrin. There's a concept of shlichus sayu, the Rishon I'm talking about, that for certain cases, we do rely on the fact that we are acting as a shluchim of the previously ordained smuchim from previous generations. But it depends if it's a criminal case or a civil case. If it's a criminal case, usually someone who chavalos, punches somebody, or that's battery, or it's assault. Zelo, someone who robs someone, and that's also a criminal case. A civil case is people who have a disagreement, neighbors about monetary claims, or about did they pay back the loan or not pay back the loan. It's not a criminal case; it's a civil case. The civil cases, the Torah doesn't require smuchim. It's only elokim is only when you punish somebody, right? A criminal case is punishing. A civil case is just figuring out who's right over there. So that's not included in elokim of the Torah and Masechah Sanhedrin. You don't really need 3 dayanim for that. Now, when it comes to punishing someone, the reason you need 3 dayanim, and the Torah says elokim, is because in order to punish someone, you need, three dayanim to, for the koach of three people to punish you. Right? To get punished by one person is not really fair. You need, if you're going to inflict a punishment on someone, right, a knas on someone, a fine on someone, you need power over there. Two people, the Gemara says, Shmuel says, Masach Hadran, is really okay. It says alokim, but really two is okay. It's called the Benzion Nedarim because it's brazen to do that, to punish someone with only two people. Yeah, but it's okay. One person really shouldn't be punishing someone. However, when it comes to civil cases, right, Nedarim, you might think it's not a civil case, but we said Yesh Me'ila B'Konamos, by Nedarim it is Dinei Mamonis involved. Usually finances are involved in Nedarim, right? When I take a neder, it's Chal Nachefsa. Yesh Me'ila B'Konamos, we pass like a mayor. So there is Me'ila B'Konamos, it has monetary value. So it's like a civil case in Nedarim, right? When I say this person can't get hanaf from me, financially benefit from me, or I can't financially benefit from this person, that's a monetary case, but it's a civil case. So here the Torah is informing us that if you have three laymen, right, they can make a Pesach and say maybe he didn't intend to make the neder under certain circumstances. Also, a Yachid Mumcha, it doesn't have to be someone who's a Talmud Chacham or a Dayan ordained by the Rabbanut here in Israel. It's a leader, someone who will investigate the matter, and an important person. They don't just make decisions haphazardly like regular people. They investigate the matter. So they're leaders over people. They think. They're thought-provoking people. They think before they do, before they act. So therefore, Yachid Mumcha doesn't mean someone who's necessarily a Talmud Chacham. It means someone who's a thoughtful, a person of leadership who will investigate the matter. And therefore, even a Yachid Mumcha, even though normally three dayanim is needed for a civil case, but a Yachid Mumcha, like the Gemara says in Sanhedrin, can also do it for civil cases. Right? I don't believe he can do it for criminal cases, but for civil cases, he could do that because he's a professional decision maker. He's a professional leader, so he can investigate that. And I believe that he only a Yachid Mumcha, or only Mumcha, three Mumcha, one Mumcha also could release someone from neder through charata. Right? It was out of machlokas. We saw the Gemara says posim charata, lo posim charata. The Gemara's machlokas whether you could use charata to remove a neder. We paskin you can use charata, but you would need someone who's a mumcha, someone who has a leadership qualities, someone who investigates matters deeply and thinks about them to investigate whether the person really regrets it now or not. Because that's not like a Pesach where the person, I lack knowledge. So, okay, you lack knowledge. We're really revealing to you never made the neder. Here, charata, the neder occurred. We are removing the neder. So you have to be someone who has to professionally assess whether the person really regrets it now or doesn't regret it now. So therefore, you need a mumcha for charata. So since, again, the Nedarim are monetary cases, but civil monetary cases, so therefore, the Gemara is bringing out of the Psukim, the Torah is just revealing that it's a civil case. Three idiotas are okay. And if you want to, and one person is okay, Yachid Mumcha is okay, because the reason you have three people by a civil case is not because you need a strength to punish someone. It's not fair to punish someone with only one person's decision. You need three people to punish someone. It's not that. It's just to bounce ideas off other people's heads. Your head yotas, your layman, you're not familiar with, Pesach in general and removing an eder. So therefore, you have to make sure you have clarity in the matter for three people. Less than three people is not clarity. Two people are chavrusa. It's not. You have to get a third perspective usually. But have someone who's a professional, right? Who, deal and leads people. So then he by himself is trusted to figure out what is a Pesach, and he also would have the ability to do charata because he's someone who investigates the matter deeply, and therefore can remove the neder through regret. Hope you enjoyed today's share. It's very fundamental distinguishing criminal and civil cases. We'll talk more about this, of course, in Masechtas Sanhedrin. We have a while before we get there. Hope you enjoyed today's share. See you in the next one.